Hello everyone, tonight we're doing some more Sims 2, continuing with Desiderata Valley. More specifically, we're starting the first proper rotation. So last time we started with the Bell household, so we should start with the Bell household again. But actually, one thing I've been thinking about is rather than just simply doing it in the same order every time, maybe possibly at the start of each rotation we just like randomize. Because like there's pretty much nothing about rotational play that really specifies that you have to play all the households in the exact same order every time, just so you have to play all of them. Or at the very least, all the ones that you care about. You know, actually, let's do that. I might set up some kind of whole system. I mess up my roll command. Right, it's a 3. Starting from Asper and just kind of going around in a circle. 1, 2, 3. So for this initial rotation, we're starting with the Jacques household. All on the first day of fall, as last stream we left off with all of the households on the first day of fall. Also, Violet is heading off to school. Well, Marcel has work at 5. Maybe but he'll be here, all morning. And they're about to bang on the couch, so I'm gonna give them a little bit of privacy. And while they do that, we can just kind of sit here and look at this rotten spaghetti. Like it, and listen to Latin music, which fortunately should be perfectly fine copyright wise, because like it's music that to my knowledge was made for the game and has not been licensed out to Extreme Music. Right now we can turn our attention back to the 2 Sims that are currently available in household. Okay, Marcel wants to have a baby. I think we might have had them we might have had them try for baby last stream. John Mole is calling. Sophia, you don't want to eat that. Like, I know you're hungry, but at least have yourself like a fresh lunch meat sandwich or something. Rather than run spaghetti that's been sitting out all night. Maybe with how ravenously hungry she is maybe she is already pregnant. I think if we try and have them try for baby, that it should confirm. Because you usually, if one of the Sims involved is already pregnant, then the try for baby option will just not appear. I think that's how it works in this iteration of the Sims. Okay, so the try for baby option is there, so I have the perfect thing. Big Bill has the perfect thing to conceive a child too. On the radio. Both of the parents are asleep now. We can see, 2 rounds of woohoo tire them out. I wonder, is there any mod out there that can get some to stop smussling on the side of the road? Because, like, this has got to be one of the most annoying things that Sims autonomously do in this entire game. Like, he's nowhere near the radio. Marcel needs to wake up because Mrs. Carpool is going to be here for at 4. Make sure that doesn't get interrupted. it'll have Sophia get the bills. Because, you know, that's the only mail you ever really receive. Even this game is just bills. Yeah, how about you go out for a jog, because that's something you want to do, so... Alright, Violet now has another 97 simoleons, and it's for a total of 194. And, you know, like, we'll probably get her set up with a probably get her set up with that fund, with those funds in the bank. Once, first of all, I've built one, and that'll probably be at the start of the next. I have no idea better option for this. So I'm gonna roll a d2, and that's a 1. Marcel sees the throngs of customers and knows that there's profit to be had. He instructs his staff to deep fry the hamburger patties instead of sending them through the Uber burger. Unfortunately, this backfires and breaks the French fry fryers as well. Now the entire kitchen is filled with acrid smoke and an undeniable stench. The customers back out of the restaurant in horror. The incompetence of the staff makes the local news. Marcel's furious boss takes 500 simoleons for the repair of both machines from Marcel's modest paycheck. Yeah, I mean, that's not just docking a paycheck. That's like either A, docking multiple paychecks, or B, straight up a fine. Because the guy only brings home 182 simoleons a day. And Sophia, you're practically serving. You probably serve dinner because Bella is also hungry. And, you know, Spaghetti's gonna deal with that faster than drinking a bunch of booze. You know, you and your husband are trying to have a second child. Do you want Do you want to give your potential unborn child fetal alcohol syndrome? Because that's how you get that. The how, okay, how about you just sit down right in this chair? And of course she gets down there late enough that Violet's already finished her spaghetti. Ian is getting up. She wants to be best friends with Violet, so they've got to interact more in order to make that happen. Actually, I think best friend, yeah, best friend is long term is a lifetime meter. I think the lifetime, yeah, lifetime meter changes slowly over time. Oh, okay. Hey, there we go. All right, now Sophia wants to have 5 best friends. Probably about time to start sending members of this household to bed. And since you know it's almost midnight. Yeah. So now we can just fast forward on through the night. Right, while we listen to some salsa. Right, the only person with the day off of this household, well, today is Marcel. Right, he wants to gain a skill point. That's the goal that he has the most control over. So, what can he use to gain creativity or logic? So those are the skills he needs for promotion. This house doesn't really come with anything for either of those skills. And also, we'll have to buy something. Yeah, maybe he can spend the day practicing painting. Maybe he might even be able to do it as like a side thing. Right, Violet and Sophia are off to their respective destinations. And so, oh, now it's watching Marcel do his painting. It's gonna look like absolute garbage, most likely, because it's only got two creative skill points. In fact, right now he's not even gonna finish it. Because he gained the skill point he was after. Now he wants to learn about couples counseling and anger management. Hi, Viola. I was horsing around it now with some classmates one afternoon when she manages to effortlessly toss a chair clear across the room. Football coach notices this display of skill and promptly gives Viola the spot on the team. Within days, Viola becomes a star player and takes home the 150 Somalian Player of the Year award. That raises her total funds up to 344. Milo wants to meet someone new. Be best friends forever with Sophia and buy a cell phone. I think the only place that you can I want to say the main place where you can buy a cell phone is downtown, which I don't think I even have attached to this neighborhood yet. Now, maybe we check if the grocery store has anything. Because that's the main place I know of in just like basic Desiderata Valley where you can actually buy things. Alright, let's check while Gustav's Grocery has. I think... Yeah, Gustav's Grocery has... like, I think these are all base game items. Which, you know, makes sense because of the town that came with an expansion pack. It's not going to assume that you have a different expansion pack. I mean, it would be kind of odd if you could just kind of buy a cell phone at a grocery store. Okay, I guess maybe one of those like little prepaid phones or something. You might be able to. You know, at some grocery stores, but not. I don't think most grocery stores I've ever been to have had anything like that. So, I guess we're adding on downtown. But, you know, so, especially with little towns like this, I often play downtown as basically being like the larger town, I don't know, and a few miles away, rather than a direct just like an area of the same town. So like, yeah, it kind of doesn't make much sense for Violet to just be able to go over there entirely on her own. Which, I mean, you know, this entire family doesn't even have a car, so... Not sure. Bring Angelica Robbins over. They're trying to make new friends anyway. Marcel, how about you clean up the rotting spaghetti and serve some lunch, because you're also very hungry. Maybe I should check my settings. Just no, free will's on. You know, Sims are autonomously doing things. It just feels like they're neglecting their needs a whole lot. Because like this is like the third time I've had to instruct a sim to eat because so their hunger meter or gone in the orange. And like Marcel was complaining about being stinky, and yet his first thought was to go talk to his wife's coworker. Violet now has 441 simoleons. I think that's just the usual call. Like, hey, there's all these places to check out downtown. I don't really feel like sending anyone downtown right now, so don't play soccer in your towel. Well, especially when you're getting close to pissing yourself. Probably need to eat another lunch meat sandwich anyway. It should be close to friendship. Just not quite getting there. Right, there they go. So stop interrupting. Your wife is hanging out with her new friend. That right? That should be a good time for her to go woohoo again. Pilot currently wants to make a friend, meet someone new, and be best friends forever with Sophia, and invite someone over. Which she just met someone new online, so... Well, I think... Well, Marcel should have his wish soon. Because that was a little chime. That at least some of the time indicates that a baby was conceived. Which is interesting because they were just woohooing. And while I do have ACR installed, which makes it to where, you know, they have a chance to, you know, when woohooing, they have a chance to conceive a child by accident. I didn't think it should play the chime when that happened. It looks like it's time for them to have a dinner of burnt spaghetti. And then head to bed. Marcel, don't continue to stay up so that you can play pool with your wife's coworker who you barely know. If you do that, you're likely to end up collapsing at some point. Now we're fast forwarding through the night again. Bia has the day off today. Which, you know, she should be getting maternity leave soon if she is indeed pregnant. Really needs to eat something because she's so far in the red and on hunger. which, you know, pregnancy causes needs to go down faster, so that could be further confirmation that she is in fact pregnant. We've got a bill we need to pay. Damn, Sophia's still super hungry. And Marcel is giving himself a sponge bath rather than just walking up to the other bathroom that has an actual little shower in it. Still incredibly hungry, so like I get the feeling that she just isn't showing a baby bump yet. But yeah, it takes a bit of time for them to get to that point. And so they both have the day off today, so they're just kind of gonna be hanging out at the house.
Hey, a man is being fucked over by his local government in Lego City. Build the killdozer, destroy the town hall, get your revenge. The new Lego City killdozer.
She wants to be best friends with Angelica, so yeah, call her up for a little while. And Marcel wants to be friends with Angelica, so he can also give her a call. Angelica's gonna see the number number on the phone and be like, didn't Sophia just call me? If they even have, like caller ID with this like 2000s tech that they're working with, where it's before Sims were just assumed to all have cell phones. That was from the moment they enter elementary school. And Sophia's got no needs again. Oh, and Violet just got 330 simoleons, and getting promoted to locker room attendant, so... When she ages up to an adult, an old or young adult, she's gonna have a nice chunk of change to start her adult life with at this point. Yeah, at this point, with the way Pia's needs have been, I would be surprised if she is not pregnant. So I'll just keep at it with fixing that bathtub. No point in cleaning up the puddles. There's just gonna be more. I think we've just about had all the sort of in-game ads that I have in the game, just in this one, like in playing this one household tonight. It's interesting because like I'm pretty sure Latin music is one of the stations that actually had the most of the default tracks still enabled after I disabled everything that could reasonably give me a copyright claim. name or VOD mute. Oh, there we go. Sophia is officially pregnant. Means it's time to start thinking about how baby names. I've I've basically got like a little system that I use and coming up with baby names off stream, but on stream. In addition to using this system as sort of the default, I am open to new suggestions either in chat or in the YouTube comments if the baby is not born by the end of this video. Which shouldn't be which this baby will probably be born next time we play this household. So sometime next rotation. For the first step of the system I'm going to be using basically going forwards for the default name options, if either there's no suggestions or at least no good suggestions. So roll a D2. I got 2, so starting with the name for if it's a girl first. Because basically, if the first name in this process, if the first name we get in this whole process is gender neutral, then that'll just be the kid's name. So the next step is a method for actually getting the name. Which I have 5 different methods, but one only works if we've had a baby born to this couple in game before. Because option number 5 is previously considered name. So rolling a d4, I got a 4 for the girl name. We're getting a name from a relative, which has an additional d6 roll associated with it to determine whether we're going with a name from a relative of the same binary gender or the opposite. If it's the opposite, it will naturally. Right, 2 is the charts 1 through 4 for same gender, 5 to 6 for our opposite. So that means we're going with basically one of two names. So we're basically rolling a d2. One being Amy, he from Marcel's mom. The other being Alyssa from Sophia's mom. And that's a 1. So gonna note down on Notepad that the baby's name will be Amy if if it's a girl. And then boy, he's roll another d4. We got another 4, so another grandparent name. So roll a d2. 1 will be from Marcel's father. 2 will be from Sophia's father. And we got a 2. If it's a boy, then the default name will be Jason. Unless I get it, at least like a suggestion. Unless somebody has a better idea for a name, those will be the names for this kid. Like the game's getting a little loud, so I'm gonna turn it down just a tiny bit. It's getting to be midnight in game, and we should probably send these Sims to bed after they finish their mac and cheese. No, you get to finish your mac and cheese. Just need to go to bed afterwards. And now I can fast forward once again. Do you know what's interesting? Because Violet has 771 simoleons that she's earned, that means that she has about half of this household's funds are hers. Yeah, her parents only have like 16 only have like 26 simoleons more than she does. Which, they're the ones paying the bills, so they they have an actual expense. And Marcel still wants to be friends with Angela. I will be right back. Hello, gift of Gabby, and thank you for the follow. Because I was supposed to still be on VRB. I need to grab a drink and then I need to use the bathroom as well. Alright, so Marcel is still trying to make friends with his wife's coworker. See, Sophia wants to eat some cereal, so that's what she'll do. Since she's still got the opportunity, need to do that at almost 10 in the morning. Marcel should probably also have some breakfast. Alright, so let's see. Now let's have Sophia also call up Angela. But not Angelica, but Angelica's at work or something, so yeah, that makes sense because well, she was available to talk to Marcel. Well, I'm pretty sure. So I guess maybe they just have different positions within the same career track. Because like the only reason Sophia's not at work right now is because she's on maternity leave. So that means that, well, maybe like buying a toy making bench. Marcel doesn't really have much of anything that he can actively do to further his goals right now. And like about the only place we'd be able to put a toy making bench is out on the porch. How much do those things even cost? Yeah, it would also cost pretty much all of our money. Some of which isn't... some of which is Violet, so... you know, maybe he can get that toy making bench if he gets a promotion or something. But until he decides to, I'd say, wants to hone his logic skill, or gets an opportunity that gives him a logic skill point, he's probably not gonna get any promotions, though. Which, I mean, in order for him to gain logic skill, well, I would also need to buy something to use for the logic skill. But, you know, you can still have Sophia work on learning couples counseling, because that's something she wants to do. Edge Marcel's got work soon. He can earn another 182 simoleons, and towards the, or is that toy making bench? Unless, of course, he makes another expensive fast food appliance. Once again. And it gets knocked like 500 simoleons. So it really needs to eat. Okay, because her hunger is pretty heavily into the red. She needs to eat, then she can go sleep. Alright, and Violet made another 110 simoleons, so now she has 881. Violet, it's the only thing Violet can really do right now. I guess she could invite somebody over, but and in fact, apparently Rick just decided to invite himself over. Marcel's still gonna be at work a little bit longer. Maybe we'll probably have him make dinner when he gets back.
affiche à la poste. Ah, c'est pas là.
Probably use the bathroom once he gets home. Which Sophia should probably get up and use the bathroom. Now Marcel can serve some mac and cheese. Yeah, I've gotta send somebody to the grocery store, but that can be something for next time we play this household, because the rotation is almost over for this household anyway. Hey, as it's about to be winter. So pretty soon we'll be switching households. And of course, the progression of Sophia's pregnancy had to briefly interrupt her eating. I'm gonna save real quick just in case that momentary freeze is a sign of impending issues. Alright, we've got the entire household hanged to bed, so you can just fast forward on. Actually, we're not fast forwarding much at all because it just became winter, so that's it for this household for this rotation. Gonna roll D5. Let's see. Starting from Asper, making way around this way. Asper, Bell, Mole, Contrary. There, so Contrary household is up next. Next for the next hour and 3 minutes. Which, it's fitting that it would be them, since it was their son that just kind of invited himself into the Jacques household's house. And since you can fast forward until somebody wakes up. Right, and both Opal and Edward are heading out to go to work. School bus should follow soon. I'm to take Rick over to school. So now we're back to fast forwarding until and roll a D2. Alert the professionals. Bug tracking professionals are able to locate the rare insect, and Opal is celebrated for an incredible find. Opal is given exclusive membership to a secret lodge. Rick got home first. Only wants to earn some money, earn 100 simoleons, and get into private school. He doesn't have a job. He hasn't rolled a 1 for a job either, so unfortunately, the little thing he did at the start with the potholders doesn't count as earning money, because unless you're at least using like an open for business style business just to sell them. Right, Opal wants Rick to be an overachiever, for Rick to get a scholarship, to help Rick with his homework, and to gain a skill point. Yeah, maybe she'll try and help Rick with his homework. Or not. Or she could just refuse to do it, even though, like, it's a social activity. So, like, it will help with it should help with one of her needs. But, I mean, since they're counted as enemies, he's still... Well, it's entirely possible that Rick would have just turned her down anyway. And Edward also wants to try to help his son with his homework. But also, yeah, I have the door locked, so and again, it would at the very least make like sense storytelling why he's for Rick to just to not listen to his parents when they try to help him with his homework. Well, I think Opal's pregnant. So... But, you know, if I go by... If I go by the term that Pleasant Sims uses is for keeping neighborhood population reasonable, well, by limiting a number of children based on the number of based on their aspiration, then I'm pretty sure the contrary is only one kid. But one thing I could do is I could just start counting secondary aspiration in there as well. Because I believe she's got secondary I believe she's got popularity listed as like 2 kids. Yeah. Oh, actually, two for knowledge as well, apparently. Hey, this entire time I thought it was 1, but 1 is for romance and pleasure. Or aspiration, so... Looks like maybe this room can be converted into a nursery. I'm not sending anyone downtown right now, so... But, you know, because I added the downtown on subHUD, every household's gonna get one of those calls. But, you know, at least that's just a thing for this rotation. And any new households I have. Because I do have plans to potentially add, like, a custom household at the end of this rotation. And because, like, you've got to consider there, you know, if you only have Sims reproduce when they specifically roll a 1 for children, there is a non-zero chance that so the population of your town could start to decline after a while. Because, like, even if it wouldn't even take Sims specifically not wanting children, because Sims can also just, for instance, fail to find someone to have children with, and usually Sims tend to only seem to roll the one to all child related ones if they have a partner. Like, you usually after they're married. If you end up with a bunch of Sims that are single their entire lives, then those Sims aren't contributing any Sims to the next generation. So it's good to add additional households every once in a while. Well, after all, you've also got to like keep the gene pool fresh. Since most of the pre-made towns, you only get like 6 households plus townies he used to work with. Plus, it's just nice to actually create 8 Sims every once in a while. Right, so families eating hot dogs at midnight. The best time for hot dogs. And they've managed to smooth things over between themselves and their son. And to not be enemies anymore. It just had, guess they just needed a nice talk over some midnight hot dogs. Oh, now it looks like the game is barely audible on the capture. Which, we don't have salsa music playing, so things are a bit quieter. Yeah, clearly what I need to do is to just like set up a limiter filter. Apparently I actually have one already set up in OBS. It's just a matter of turning it on and having it set up. Alright, so let's see. probably turn it down a little bit more. Let's put the limiter at like minus 30 decibels. Almost maybe even in minus 35. And that should keep it at a reasonable volume. Rolling a D2, keep the dolphin in, and that... Alright, Opal doesn't take orders from dolphins, even clever, charming ones. She refuses to let the dolphin go. When the dolphin continues to bump its head against the gate, though, Opal senses something is wrong. She calls the medic, who treats the dolphin and thanks Opal for the diagnosis. As for saving the dolphin, Opal ends up with a promotion. And now Edward's getting the same opportunity, but because I rolled a 1, he's going to obey the dolphin. Edward has developed a bond with this dolphin and really feels this urge to be free. He decides to open the cage door and the dolphin swims out. While Edward wonders how to explain to his boss what happened, the dolphin suddenly swims back with what appears to be a small satchel. Edward looks inside to find undersea treasure that the dolphin has dug up. Edward gets 300 simoleons. Well, I mean, Opal kind of got far more. Because, you know, she got a promotion, which means not a bonus and higher pay going forwards. Although, she's probably about to go on maternity leave. Also needs to eat something because she's pretty far in the red on hunger. Because of rotted hot dogs are on the way. And now she doesn't want to. Now she doesn't have the one that was gonna have her used to gain. And the mechanical skill point she needs for the next promotion. Like she basically got distracted from being about to work on her skills for the next promotion by wanting to learn how to cook better. Like, how about you actually clean up the source of the cockroaches rather than just messing with the cockroaches. And also, you should probably spray them because they're liable to get sick otherwise. You are at the very least more likely to get sick from stomping on the cockroaches. See? This is why you don't stomp on cockroaches, Rick. This is why you bust out the spray. Because now you're sick with the flu. Where are you finding more cockroaches? Roaches, Edward. Edward also gets sick with the flu because he just went and stomped on cockroaches barefoot. There's yet more cockroaches. Right, finally, cockroach situation has been and dealt with. Apple needs to eat even more because she's practically starving. But, you know, Opal, didn't you need to pee before? Just piss in the bathtub? Yep, now Opal's on maternity leave, so that means time to go through the process that we went through with the Jacques household. Fortunately, I left the document that I have that process outlined in open. First, we need to roll D2. Starting with the girl's name first. Roll a D4 because we don't have any previously considered names to go off of. And we've got random name, which uses a random renamer from behindthename.com. Which means that we need to figure out which sets of names to draw from. I think for this household, it's probably mostly English. But let me check. I think that's a different window capture than I was using for web browsers before. Here's my proper web browser capture. Bit screen. Which actually could be a little bit better. Because I made the crop at the top a little more extreme than it needed to be. Alright, so let's see. Edward is, an English and Polish name. They don't have the name contrary in their database because, EA made it up basically. There could be people out there with the surname contrary for all I know, but like, if there are, it's not exactly common. Alright, Opal is an English name, and, well, Rick is also an English name, so... Hmm. When I think of girls' names, I don't usually think Mickey. But apparently, which I mean, considering that the last time that I saw much use as a girl's name in this entire country, it was back in the 1960s. That's probably part of why. But maybe we just as a use as a particular spelling, because apparently Mickey spelled Mikki is specifically feminine, whereas Mickey spelled like a certain famous rodent is and it is technically considered gender neutral, but most people, myself included, would consider it to be a masculine name, mostly because of the aforementioned famous rodent. Back in like the 1950s, from the sounds of it, wasn't too much of a surprise. To have girls named Mickey around. Basically, unless somebody in chat or on the YouTube comments of this video, assuming that this baby isn't born by the end of the stream. Because there is some small possibility that could happen. And we've got almost 3 days left with this household. And this kid's name is gonna be Mickey, just a matter of spelling. I have to be making a lot of food to keep Opal fed at this rate. But you know, she is eating for two, so it makes sense that she would need a bit of extra. Even if that means, you know, eating burnt mac and cheese. He's a, what was wrong with that toilet? Like, is it too dirty? Like, was it just too dirty because her mom hasn't cleaned up her? Nobody's cleaned up your mom's morning sickness vomit. Guess we'll put the leftover burnt mac and cheese away. Well, to be fair, like, probably not really that worth keeping. And because, you know, that was burnt, so it's a food poisoning risk regardless. But yeah, with how quickly Opal's hunger keeps going down, and it's probably also a good idea to just keep extra food handy. And regardless of what it is. I should probably get up soon. So they can actually eat breakfast. That's before he goes to school. And Opal needs pretty much a second serving of the cereal, will just be relatively full. Oh, Rick's healthy again. He was able to just like sleep off his flu in one night. Hey, good for him. Right, we can fast forward a little bit, but gotta be careful. All to make sure that you know, Opal doesn't get too hungry while we fast forward. Like you do not want to kick that can. That's how you got the cut. Well, I think it was somebody else that kicked the can last time. But kicking that can over is how you got cockroaches and the flu last time. So, yeah, right after recovering from the flu isn't exactly a great time to be basically inviting more cockroaches into your home. And Rick has just had the same ones the entire time. No, don't stop kicking over the trash can. He's so extremely determined to do it that know it every time that by the time I'm able to actually cancel the interaction, like I cancel the interaction and he just does it anyway. Yeah, apparently they're just refusing to use this toilet because it's dirty or because maybe it's glitched. Yeah, apparently this toilet is glitched out. Right, there we go. We've forced reset the toilet, and so maybe it will work now. Like, it's still dirty, but it's not counting as it shouldn't be counting as perpetually in use anymore. So, you know, maybe that fixed it. Yep. Alright, well, how about you serve dinner? Or since you're once again in the orange and on hunger.
A travesty love of Rome.
We're just gonna have everybody who's hungry. You go and eat dinner or like 6 p.m. I mean, 6 p.m. is usually a reasonable time for dinner. 6 or 7. Oh, Opal was falling asleep in her mac and cheese. I don't have any screenshot for the thumbnail yet. But I could just use some of the like default pictures of those are the two households that we played tonight, because we're most likely not getting to a third household all tonight. Like I might go a little bit longer just so that we can finish off with this one. But have you go sleep in your actual bed. Rather than in your mac and cheese. Can you stop kicking the can? Okay, can you stop kicking over the trash can for 5 seconds? Like, you woke up specifically to kick over the trash can. That's how badly you want cockroaches again, and I guess. Like, he just loves getting the flu. I guess we should probably... Which I kind of don't want to get rid of this stuff, but also there's no family inventory in this game, so... I suppose what we could do... Let's set up like a... Okay, no, we are not doing that, because that will cost most of our money if we try and set up an attic. I think we're just gonna leave that out in the yard. Actually, we might be better off. We might almost be better off of just adding on an additional room somewhere. Let's make sure that we have the nursery equipment set up first. There we go. Nursery is set up. Rick, Edward needs to get up because oh, Rick's apparently running away. Rick's just gonna run off in his pajamas. Right, I understand that you're upset, but you still need to go to work. Dang, Rick's just gonna miss the birth of his younger sibling, I guess. He's also skipping school. Unless he's just gonna run off, go to school, and then go who knows where. You know, so, like, getting on the bus because otherwise, means I'll just take him home. Because I mean, like, I don't know if Sims ever oh, they were able to bring Rick right back. And now he's going to go kick the can again. It just loves the flu, I guess. Because he is determined to just create, like, the world's biggest swarm of cockroaches localized entirely in his yard. No, Edward is not available to talk because he's not here. Stop kicking the trash can. But you know, every time he does it, you know, I go to cancel the interaction, but he does it anyway because the interaction is seemingly like uncancelable. Yes, do like a nice constructed activity like restock the fish tank, like restock the fish tank.
Nip nap crib step?
La Shibi.
And yeah, surprise, surprise, Opal is hungry again. With the rate at which he's getting hungry, like you would almost think it was less a baby and more of a parasite. But you know, oh, maybe that, you know, honestly, for all I know, that's normal. Like it, well, because like, you know, as a youngest child, old with no children of my own, I don't really have much in the way of first-hand pregnancy experience. So,
Nakneref is so proud. Overlaten. Was he no more?
Hajibul. Ushaza Boblibi. Rockwood the Beach. Sapansi Kijan.
Ego. Mr. Fowl.
Kado? Azam Kado.
Is too fresh. Scheme right. Verrate schon.
Ulats. Kugli gave. Chicala Kofina to Bagajo.
plus you know, like
Kushuba.
well, like it, even if I did,
Arachnus of Kija.
even if I had like been around like a family member that was pregnant, and I still probably wouldn't know every detail, all of that experience. And yeah, I mean, it makes sense that the body would need more resources basically when it's in the process of creating an entire human. After all, I mean like. And like, you know, they say that you eat a lot more right before growth spurt, so yeah, at least when you're still growing. Yeah, but if your body needs significantly more food just to give you some more inches of spine, then it probably needs track perfectly fine. Well, to need even more when producing not only a spine, but all of the other, but a whole bunch of other bones and organs. And albeit on sort of a miniature scale. Hey, Bats and Babies Alls, thank you for the raid. And admittedly, we're probably gonna be finishing up fairly soon. As I usually wrap up around 3 a.m. at MEST, and it's 2:54 right now. But the raid is appreciated nonetheless. It might go a little bit longer tonight, because that way I can just kind of leave off with the end of this household's turn, earning the rotation. And so next Monday when I stream this again, and we can just start right off with the next household. Well, probably needs to get up and eat even more. Or actually, it looks like she's having the baby. So doesn't matter which of these options I choose because they're both the same surname. I can't take any screenshots of lots of cutscenes. That's a little disappointing. And it is a boy. So Mickey Contrary, he has been born, or right before both the end of the stream and the end of the rotation. And Opal is still very hungry, so she's gonna still make some food. Why do you put the baby in his crib? Oh, and Charlotte's here as well. I mean, I should hope that they have noticed the baby because, like, they all ran into the room. now Opal can finally eat a normal amount. And actually be full. Right now to put Opal on birth control. Especially since it looks like Nation and Edward are both about to go bang. And them casually woohooing is how they got this kid in the first place, so
Brat a boaster. Pasó hasta copón. Ya, bula.
now just a matter of waiting for winter to officially start for this household. Because, you know, the most important and exciting things are already over.
Coisa mo. Look at the new boo.
Looks like Mickey needs a diaper change. But, you know, his big bro those got it handled. Well, since the actual parents are asleep. Now, most of the household is asleep, so time for a bit of fast forwarding. You've got another day. Either that or it's just taking a little while for the season to change. I think we might actually have another day of fall. Nope. Nope, it just became winter. So that's gonna be it for me tonight. Thank you to everyone who stopped by. Next Sims 2 stream is planned for next Monday. And that's also the next stream I have planned in general. Well, as I have other plans for this weekend. Let me see who I can sort of pass on the raid to. Alright, looks like there's a couple people in the Sims 2 category. So let's send one of them a raid.